national at TI6. When they tried to send me again for TI7, it was basically time to cement it and show them that last time it wasn't a big throw. So it was a super important moment, and it was super stressful, and it was really, can I survive under these circumstances, or can I kiss the career goodbye? But that was also fun too.
Yeah.
Not all doom and
Yeah.
gloom.
This I just want to let you know you can be as casual as you want to be. Language, this, that, and the other doesn't matter to me particularly. I don't. I could care less. I just want you to
Vagina.
be. I want you to be as natural as you want to be. I don't want you to be as act professional. I don't want you to see it as this is a giant professional interview. I want you to be natural and be yourself at the same time.
It's all good, Robbie. Okay, hit me.
Um, so proceeding from there, I mean, I remember watching how when the opening ceremony video. That must have been interesting in itself. Days
Yeah, it was
before
crazy.
producing it, and then making sure everything worked, ran to the last second.
Yeah, it was interesting. They called me in a couple of weeks before national, said filmed this intro movie, and it was the first time Valve had ever done like a scripted movie with their video crew. Their video crew has only done documentaries and stuff like that, like True Sight and all that other shit. So yeah, it's pretty scary stuff. It was also exposed to that world of like actual good content and filmmaking. It was cool. They gave me the early bird script and I rewrite it. But it was yeah, it was pretty scary because you didn't know if it was good. A, B, well, on the actual day, it was pretty terrifying where we had to come out and this poor donkey named Tanqueray, he was very scared. Tanqueray had 3 nervous poops before the event on the floor of Key Arena on the carpet. So we didn't know if Casey was terrified of Tanqueray. He wouldn't touch him, and I had horses in the past, but I got him. But yeah, it was a really neat experience. It also kind of ruined my life a little bit
In what
when I was
regard?
at Valve filming it. They let me stay in their offices and work in their offices like I was an employee. Like I would go in, I fucking work there, eat lunch and shit, and sit in my little office working on my loregasms next to the guy that wrote the lore. And it was just like everybody that I met was so amazing. Everybody over there is such a like I'm talking to one guy and I was like, oh, what did you do? And he, oh, I made all the facial animations in Avatar. I was like, what? It was just some dude I was hanging out with. So it was. I never saw that level of expertise before. I mean, I thought that I was like pretty good at what I did, and I thought that I was like a pretty like all right. I'm a pretty skilled guy. I got some talents, and then you meet guys like this that are just like
It was just a
I
whole
used
nother
to.
level.
It's just literally another level, and it was super depressing because I
Yeah,
was like, I'll never get on that
yeah,
level.
you're never
They've
gonna see it.
right. So the experience was super cool. I learned a ton, especially about stuff like actual higher level movie making, shit like that. At the same time, it was very sad because I had to leave. I just left. Ugh. Maybe it was long enough where I felt like it was like part of like, oh, this is my life now. And then it was anyway.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think on keep going because obviously from all the videos and everything from say TI6 to TI7, you were in everything in TI6. You were you were the forefront. It was the same thing with the freaking Boston Major. I remember when I went there the last day, you were there doing every single thing. And
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's not a good thing, though. I think that's one of PGL's faults is that they'll like find something and then they'll try to use that to cover up their stuff. I mean, God, you should have seen the Kiev major. It was literally like the Slacks Power Hour. It just never ended, and yeah, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, that's kind of a big negative. People get sick of you quicker and all that stuff. But it's fun to have that on your back. Just be like, okay, I did this. It worked out. They certainly went a different direction at TI7. They brought in 4 content people, and then because of Bulldog, everything got fucked. But it was yeah, I liked it more though. I liked TI7 more than TI6 just because for the viewers. I think that it's better to have variety, even if you're not the star of the show. The show needs to be about what's best, and I think having different people, different ideas, better. Do I think that we made the best content at TI7? No, I made like 34 content pieces, and they aired like five of them, and one was the trip to the zoo. Kill me. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. I think they
it
played it
was
too
that
safe.
was a cringeworthy video at most. But
I
again,
mean,
in the end, it's their choice, and I guess that's what they
right.
chose.
Well, they chose to play it really safe. I think that was their idea. They wanted to just, I don't know. A lot of their stuff didn't end up working. A lot of the AR stuff was having
Yeah,
problems.
that
So,
I remember watching that. It didn't really start working until like the fourth or fifth day in, really like solidly, consistently.
right. And there was a lot of plans and stuff to do with that, like experimental stuff that I can't talk about, but they were super invested in.
Fair
So,
enough.
yeah, I mean, it was weird. It was weird. I mean, they played it real safe. And sometimes safe is good, but I don't think of that event. Be super memorable. Yeah.
Was there another? I'm just trying to think back. Was there another moment like the bus incident?
I wish. I wish. No,
Oh,
I mean, again, we were too cool, dude. Too safe on that shit. I didn't have anything terrifying happen. I didn't in anyone's life or relation on that event. I don't. Maybe day nine. I did have a day nine incident. I wanted to film something on the desk with the panelists, and I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, you guys, can you go on the panel? I want to film a quick skit where you guys are like on the panel." And he's like, "I would rather watch the game. I don't really feel like it." And then I was like, "Well, geez, all right, I guess I'll go ask Machine. I know Machine will do it." And then it was like, he kind of took that as like, Machine's the good host, you know? So maybe I did ruin the day nine reputation, but that was definitely not an accident. I was just being a prick, so
you were just trying to
yeah.
rile him up and get him going, and see and try to make him cave.
Yeah, yeah, that did not work out. He's too nice of a guy for that. He just looked sad. So, I apologized. I felt pretty bad about that. Anyway, no,
Um,
nothing too interesting, man. I mean, it was just kind of do or die, and it felt like for the first time. I will say though, that TI was the first event where they're like, "Hey, chill. We only want you to make one or two content pieces a day. We don't want you to kill yourself." And that's kind of what I've been doing over the last year and a half. I mean, I used to have a full head of hair before I went into Dota. Now I'm hideous. But yeah, I mean that was PGL's deal, right? Wake up every day, do 10 content pieces. They'll choose two. They'll edit it really badly. They'll
yeah,
throw it
I remember Boston Major. I was there. I think the last day. I don't even know if you remember. You were doing the one of the last bits for that song. The it,
Oh God! Oh, so fucking bad,
and
dude.
you were on that high
Every
rise, that one step up right off the main floor, and you were on that little alcove.
oh, dude, that fucking song. Every day they wanted me to make that song, and I knew it was a bad idea. I kept being like, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. And we spent, it was all they cared about. And we spent all time on it, and it was like the worst fucking thing ever. And I knew it would be bad. Oh, God. But that's the thing. Sometimes people hire you, and they're like, "Hey, this is what we want.
You
You
just
make it, you tell them it's
you
be
gotta do
bad,
it
and then it's
regardless.
bad. Yeah, you're going to do it." In some universe, that song might have been good, you know? One out of a billion, though.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, looking back, seeing from your progression in the last year has been, in your career in like a career standpoint, has been amazing for you. I have to like that's without a doubt. I mean, you've blown up since TI5 going into TI6, and then now subsequently TI7. Everyone that that has a conceptual idea of the pro scene or content creation, if you don't know who Slacks is, I mean, that's kind of a more or less of an issue. Have you seen that? more so now in this last year or so leading up, in since previous years, like with you're at events and people are saying hi to you and coming up, and now it's like, oh, your slacks.
Yeah, I guess, but my skin is crawling just hearing stuff like this. One thing about me is I take compliments really badly.
Really?
I motivate myself through negativity. I
Okay.
say, that was a shit event. You should have done better. That was, I mean, you could have done this. You could have done this, and it works because I motivate myself really easily like with that. One thing that I'm really trying to take is like taking compliments. Like, okay, I've been successful. I did that well. Stuff like so. Yeah, oh God. Yeah, I guess I have grown a lot in positive ways and a lot more noticeable and stuff like that. But I don't know. I do have to say that after TI6 and the road to TI7, it was actually one of the harder times in my career. From TI5 to TI6, it was this great roller coaster. You know, when I made it to TI, this was my impossible goal. I started 2 years before that, and I said one day I'm gonna do stuff at. I snuck into TI at TI4. Like that's gonna be, I'm gonna be up there. And when I did it at TI6, I just had this like misery, this like empty feeling afterwards. I mean, it was just like what Kuro said after he won TI7. It's like you achieve this impossible goal, this goal that
What's next?
should by no like, yeah. And what's next? What do you do? So the road from TI6 to TI7 was actually pretty hard because it's yeah, I'm doing this right, but I mean, what's after that? What's going on now? So that's kind of like where I'm at with this Midas mode thing.
Yeah, that I was just
Challenge.
about to like lead into that. Is that where you said, okay, I'm going to accomplish a new task, a new goal, and try to conquer that and smash it out of the park?
Yeah, that was basically it. I live my life by three goals, right? I have my short-term goals, my long-term hard goals, and then my unachievable goals. And after I got the unachievable goal done, working at TI from like lowly 3K scrub, then yeah, I had to reset the whole system. So I want to build an entire tournament. I don't want to be in front of the camera. I want to do this from scratch and see what this is like. And yeah, it's just kind of soaked up all my time, and it's been really fun and passionate. I think that's a big flaw of mine, though. If I do something really well and I feel like I'm succeeding, then I don't want to do it anymore. That's super counterintuitive. You should want to improve upon your thing and be the best at it. But once I feel like I'm good, I just do it anymore. It's
It
over.
seems like you want to keep yourself a rounded out individual into some respect because you want to be able to be well versed in multiple areas and say, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. Here's my profile, here's my forte, here's what I've done.
Sure, but that kind of stuff is actually dangerous. I think that stuff like, let's take Capitalist for an example.
Okay.
He's a great cast, he's a great panelist. He is a great um, analytical caster, hype caster, panelist, interviewer, stage host. Capitalist can do anything. He can do it really good. But why would you ever hire Capitalist? Because there's always the best host, the best caster, the best, etc. So being the guy that's pretty good at everything is actually in the field of entertainment kind of suicide because it means that you're not the best at one thing. So while yeah, it's cool to be able to know a bunch of different facets, it's super dangerous. I mean, a smart person would probably just in, be the best at their craft. If I was an intelligent guy, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to be the best content creator and stage host and interviewer and stuff. I mean, those three things. But yeah, so it's a little risky, but I mean, it's unchallenging. You have to have the right kind of personality for that. You have to have the monotony of being like, okay, so OD Pixel. I love Owen. I have nothing against him. He does the exact same thing at every event in the exact same way. And he's great. He's one of the best hype casters in the game. I could never do that. It just drives me insane. I have to do the same.
It becomes monotonous and just time consuming and boring more or less because
But I you know, grass is always greener. I kind of wish I was more like that and was just like content with what I had. But at the same time, I don't know. I like the challenge. I like the learn. So.
I, and I can agree with that. I can feel I don't know the word sympathize or
Empathize, bro.
empathize. Sorry,
That's the
high school
oh
English. I forget sometimes. Uh, but I can empathize with that in that regard because I have that same similar mentality where you always want to keep striving for more. You always want to keep your mind spread out. You want to keep your opportunities spread out to be able open for any type of situation per se.
yeah. Oh, good to hear. Two crazy assholes on one phone
Yeah,
call. All right,
yeah,
sounds
yeah. It
good.
works out great. Um, but I was catching up on. I listened to What the Duck earlier while I was working on other assignments, and I heard that it's good to hear that. No, on a side note, that your Midas mode is actually, from the sounds of it, and I know what you don't have to say anything to that if you don't need to or want to, but uh, that it's rolling forward, it's progressing, and it's becoming something contextual.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'll tell you that we're about halfway through the funding that I'm looking to get. I won't say what numbers we're at or anything, but it felt good to finally get someone to conceptualize on that product and know that it wasn't worthless. Sales business, that shit is so fucking hard, dude. You just send out a million different offers and nobody gets back to you. Maybe one guy, and then he's like, "Well, I'll think about it." And then he
Uh,
so it's fine, but yeah, no, no, it's good. After this phase is done, it's all the fun stuff. So
yeah.
just
And if I remember right, because you know, obviously I'm a Patreon supporter. I was going back and I was viewing some of the blogs that you're doing. There's a land portion, correct? I just want to just get that out of my mind.
a land portion for Midas mode.
Or no, am I was I getting that portion wrong, or was I thinking something completely out there and I'm just screwing up my mind because
Yeah, I think I might have mentioned that one of the sponsors asked if we would want to make it a land or something. So I
okay,
might have said something about that. But no, no, no land this time. I think that'll
okay.
be for Midas mode too, if it ever happens.
I
But
think
there's
that's
a
what
lot
it
of other
was.
challenges. We're working on that right now for the captain's draft minor. So
That's what it
that's
was.
pretty interesting.
That's what it was that I was getting screwed up with. Okay. So I was getting a little sidetracked with all this. So going back to TI
Oh,
7, um,
yeah.
what say day pre to qualifier days, or the what is it the main the main stage setting days for the players,
Yeah, yeah, the media days, stuff like that.
media days, and when they play to set the bracket, the playoff days.
Yeah,
No, not well,
yeah, yeah.
playoff days and main event days. Out of that, is there any specific day or moment out of this TI that really helped you, or really what's the word I'm reaching for, uh that really stuck out to you as a moment for that year of saying, that is my experience, or that is what I wanted to you know accomplish, help, or if I'm getting anywhere where you conceptually that you can understand what I'm trying to reach. I don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see where you're going. That moment when you're at an event, you're like, oh, this is happening. This is going to work. This is going to be okay. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Kind of
the
just that
the the
moment where everything
chills and everything in your head is like, this is it.
never happens, bro. I'm gonna be 100% with you. I am in full terror mode from beginning to end on any event I'm at because you get down, you touch down, you're jet lagged, you start working the next day, and the work never ends until the event is over. And the entire time, it's like you feel like you're holding your breath. You feel like it's that stress that at any moment Everything could crumble. You could go on stage and accidentally say some racial slur you've never said before, and just it's over. And that moment never goes away. Never a moment where it's like, ah, wonderful. It's what's next? What's in an hour? What's in 2 hours? What's tomorrow? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Is anyone mad at me? And that's the same for everybody in this industry. I mean, I literally just don't sleep. I hardly eat, and it's just a nightmare until I'm at the airport last day, about to get on the plane, and then I'll take a huge, giant breath in and breath out, and just be like, I fucking did it. Oh my god! And it's
It's
this
over with.
gigantic. Yeah, there's never a moment of everything's going so well. I don't think anyone will ever tell you that in this kind of like Valve. It's looking like they're putting out fucking fires the whole entire time.
Oh
Everyone
my
they're
god.
dying,
I would.
but it's I mean, they have just never been part of a real production before. I will say the only production company I've ever worked with, chill, and no one's stressed out as Dreamly. But that's also because the entire thing is meant to be a meme. So if you screw up, it tears. I mean, that's a nice environment, but no, man. I mean, even just thinking about it right now, tensing up, and I feel like I'm there again just talking about it.
Really,
It's just
it's.
ugh, for everybody.
And
But
but
that's the industry. I mean, you got to be able to deal with that. You can't deal with that, shit breaks you, and then you quit. It happens to a lot of people.
and and I'm just talking to the other personality, talent, say like Toby and everything like that. Are they in that same similar type of boat, or are they feeling a little bit more reprieve, a little bit less stress, and uh, cool, calm?
I mean, it's interesting. I feel like everyone feels it, and I feel like people just have a different first, and that's kind of like how good they are at their job, right? If you can see it on someone's face, if you feel like when you're talking to them they're panicking and stuff, I mean, they're just not going to last very long in the industry. It's, get to them quicker. I mean, at the event on the outside, I'm having a great time, laughing and cheering. But I mean, for all I know, they're all the same as me. I mean, I would imagine. So no, no idea. I don't think I ever knew someone that was cool as a cucumber at all times and chill. Even Red, who's been doing this for like fucking 35 years or something, is just when those cameras go off, his head is in his hands, just like, I could have done better.
Who are you talking
Done
about?
this.
It just cut out when you're stating the name.
Even guys like Red Eye who've been doing this for like 30,
Oh, okay.
are like the epitome of professional.
And they still feel it.
Gee, this is working. I didn't screw it up. So I mean that's just human, you know. I mean there's this moment right when I was on Manila, doing my first interview in front of the crowd, and it was just like Jesus, I was freaking out. My heart was pounding. I was there with Matumba Man, I believe. The entire arena is full, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna be able to talk. I can't talk. I'm freaking out. And then when they're just like three, two, one, and boom, just go. And that's
You just nutted the fuck up, basically, and just it went up.
what I mean. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you don't think that you can do any of this. If you asked me if I thought I could do any of this at any moment, no. But when the time comes, it's like fight or flight. You just do it, and then after one, it's all good. I'll say that though. The worst day of all, the most horrific day is day one. First panel, first thing that you do, because you're like, you have nothing under your belt. Anybody will tell you that the first day that you have to work at something big like this, that is the worst moment. And then after that camera goes off, after the first skit, and the world didn't burn down, you're like, okay, I got through one. And then I got through five. And then we got through this week, we can do next week. That's always terrible, man. I'm sorry, this is super negative. I do have a great time,
Oh,
may I
I
add.
understand, but I can also see the other side of the stress and everything at the same time.
Right. I mean, I'm so like happy for the life that I have and the shit that's worked out for me and stuff. I mean,
I mean, hell,
incredible. I worked at
looking at you, like who else? I mean, besides the players and who gets to travel the world and do what they love for a
Yeah,
career,
exactly.
for fun.
I mean, before this, I worked at Outback Steakhouse for 8 years, and I had $200 in my bank, uh, about something. Poor as fuck. Very struggling to get by. I had like 3 jobs and credit hours in college. I was paying for it all by myself, and it was just this constant nightmarish grind. And I still tell everybody to this day, like they're like, "How do you have so much energy? How do you keep going?" And you never seem like you're in a bad mood. You have no idea. You have no idea. So like what it's like to not think about anything, but I literally will not make rent this month unless I work the next 36 hours. I'm just thinking like, okay, I don't have that over my head is such a goddamn blessing. I can I
It's so uplifting and just relief and not having to worry about that. And I see personally some of my friends that have the same issue, or they view that, and it's this is the worst. This is the worst they're gonna get. It's only uphill from there. So I
All
can
right.
understand what you're saying in that regard.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. I mean, it wasn't bad at the time. It was just life. But yeah,
But
Jesus.
you look back and you say, okay, I was there. Here I am now. The
Right.
the the odd and the mountain is so much different from what it was then.
Sure. But at the same time, maybe the hope is always that later in our lives we'll be able to look back and say, "Oh, look at where I was then and where I am." That's everybody. Life throws curveballs at you. I always tell my wife and stuff that this is temporary. This could go away at any second. I could throw an event. I could throw a TI8. It's done. And then what do I have? So yeah, that might be the negative part of me, but that is just the risk of working in something. It's nothing's free. I can't really put any of this shit on a resume and be like, "Oh, look, I made YouTube videos
Yeah.
10 years ago." So
I mean, hell, maybe the years to come that could be the case, but nowhere in hell right now. That's nowhere in hell the
could happen,
gonna
dude.
be.
It's one sentence away. I walk onto a stage and I do something completely stupid, like, and I have no idea, and it was a complete accident, and then it's just, boop, just over.
Yeah.
That's the industry. So, stress is always there, but you just gotta love the moment that you're in, and I think that is one thing that I do right. I appreciate what I have, whereas I see a lot of people don't.
Yeah, you see
Especially,
that a lot these days with that regard. And then,
right. Especially people that work in like this thing, and they just are, oh, I can't believe they're only paying this much. Oh man, I can't believe we don't have fucking donuts or during breakfast. I'm gonna go complain about it. Christ,
that's a
know what you have, bro.
yeah.
But
That's the
anyway,
least of your worries. Jeez, you're having a fucking good day. That's
right,
the motto I think most of my coworkers have. You go, if you're complaining about this and this is the worst thing that's gonna happen today, you're having a damn good day.
exactly. Yeah, that was my motto for a long time, waiting tables. Oh God. All right. Um, but yeah, so there's a lot of negatives and a lot of stress, but overall, just an incredible life, incredible positives.
Can
Being able
you?
to work,
Sorry,
yeah,
continue.
nothing. Just being able to work at something like TI is, yeah, it's just like it's more than just working a job, right? I mean, TI is this thing where you get to share what you love the most with other people, and it's something that they love too. It's it's just so weird in that way, that connection. It's just super special to me because it's not like Comic Con. You go to Comic Con, everybody's there and they like something. They all like certain. But it's something like TI, man. You're just
Yeah,
there and you all
it's
you know
centralized.
they
Everyone is there for Dota.
right, and we all have the same experiences, even if we've never met. Like we've all been in the game with the proving guy that's fed and been miserable. We've all been in the game where there's this amazing comeback and we all bring it together. And it's that unifying aspect of like these shared experiences between strangers that only video. games can, and especially it's just every time I walk into TI, it's I just feel like I can pick up a conversation with it, and I usually do, just complete stranger, and it's like we've known each other our entire lives. It's just
That
so
was the outlying thing for me. When I went to Boston. That was for Boston Major. That was my first event in general, and
yeah.
that was eye-opening, mind-blowing. Seeing everyone there and just how close knit, I guess, as a I don't want to even I want to almost say like a family because that Dota brings you that close because if you look at the metrics, obviously the the portion of or percentage of people playing other games that play Dota is so low because anyone that is into Dota, that is their main thing. That is their life. That is what they focus all their time because it is a game that is brutal. No, there is no uh, net. You get thrown into the deep end and you just sink or swim. And everyone has that relation. Everyone has that moment, and they live through that, and they all know what it's like. So it's that centralizing type feel that everyone can relate to, and that was like the eye-opening thing for me when I went to Boston. It was it blew me out of the water.
Well, glad we had the same experience. Oh,
You're going all metallic Morty.
oh, hey, sorry about that.
No, that's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Glad we had that same experience, friend.
So you talked about all the negatives and the stress and everything that comes with it, and that's a no-brainer. That's an obvious with anything like into that perspective because, like you said, it's one screw up and that's it. You're done. What are the positives that have you've outcome besides the obvious? You're living your dream. You can travel the world and do.
I mean, it's hard to come up with other positives than that, dude. I mean, that's literally it. I mean, it's been a huge growing experience for me, humbling. I never left the U.S. before this job. I hardly left different states that I wasn't. 200 bucks in my bank account. This life, this job is giving me everything more than I literally ever thought that I would ever do. If I didn't have this in a restaurant, barely making enough to survive. It's talk about positives. It's nothing but positive. I really nothing else that I could possibly say.
Okay. Um, I'm just trying to think because I don't want to reach too far to an extent. I don't know. Um, I mean, career defining.
Reach away, my friend.
I mean, obviously, career defining moments are all the TIs and everything following. What was the point that you hit? Okay, I made it, or I can't believe this is actually happening in my life, and I can. When was that moment that clicked and you said, "Okay, this is amazing"? I mean, there's obviously the story that you've told.
That's easy. That's easy. So working at the restaurant, I making these YouTube videos, and everybody is telling me quit. I mean, start streaming. So I do that Kickstarter thing because my computer broke.
The power
The
supply or
power
whatever.
supply,
Yeah, I remember that.
and I got that money, got the PC, and I got the TI4 thing. I went to TI4, and I was like, all right, the viewers on the YouTube videos were all right. I don't know what I can do with this really. And then I used all the money that I made from the Kickstarter on the trip to TI4 and building this PC that could. I went up to my boss and I said, "Hey, boss, can I take weeks off to try this and see if I can do something with that?" And I was like a manager at Outback. He's like, "Sure, whatever, sounds good." And I go and I stream, and I made like, I usually make like 30 bucks a night at Outback, and I made like $100. It's insane. And I was like, oh my god, I can do this. This is a thing. People will watch this. People care about this. And I just didn't go. I didn't even quit my job. I just didn't go back. It was over. I didn't show up after 2 weeks were over. I didn't pick up the phone when he called, and I just streamed nonstop every day. And was just like, this is a thing. This is a fucking a thing. And it was that moment I was like, where else could I go with this? I mean, it was, anyway, I don't know. When I was in high school and I had to talk to people in front of my class, like my hands would shake, like mumble, and I was terrified,
Yeah.
like talking. And then one day I just decided I'm gonna sign up for this RA job in college, and I'm going to just throw myself into a situation and try to pretend to be the person that I wanted. And that's, that happens a couple times in life. You have to say, I'm not this person. I'm going to pretend to be this person, and then I'll become it. I'll learn how to do it. So that was one of those moments where it's like, okay, I'm not an entertainer. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm jumping in, and we'll see if I can do it. And it was at that moment, after 2 weeks, I was like, fuck, this can work. I can do this. And then from there, it was like, all right, well, I started streaming out of nowhere. I can start making interview people out of nowhere. I can do this out of nowhere. It's all that building on that first initial jump, you know.
Yeah. So
Uh,
it started out, okay, I can do this, and then your mind opens up to all these new opportunities and possibilities that can happen.
right. And just being able to say that you have one thing under your belt is just such a big motivator. It's literally just like the sponsorship thing. It's so stressful until you get one sale, and then you're like, okay, somebody likes this. I can do it.
And then
So,
when the one company they see you, that one company backing you, and they, okay, maybe I can. It's just that
sure.
one person that give you the opportunity, give you the chance, and then it helps from there on out.
Yeah, and I don't know. I always think that it's advice that I give. Like, hey, you should never follow the advice. Go for your dreams, right? Just go for your dreams. Because most of the time, people got to be failing at that. You know,
Yeah.
people have got to be fucking up at that, and making that initial jump sometimes isn't going to pay off.
You look at
And
this.
I'm extremely lucky that it did for me. But I would never recommend somebody do that. But I would recommend, if you think you could do something and the risk to you is kind of minimal, just take the plunge, go all in, because sometimes that one thing can work and you could build off.
Low risk, a medium to high reward, basically. Um. So shit, I lost what I was gonna fucking say. Jesus fuck. So going from here, like obviously Midas Mode is in the works and everything. Where do you see yourself after? You know, every if you know theoretically everything pans out with Midas Mode, it goes off with a hitch.
Hello?
Yep.
Hey, sorry, I lost you there.
No, no
Is there an
problem.
end to that?
I said now going forward, with Midas Mode in the works and everything, and where do you see yourself following, Midas Mode with it theoretically going off without a hitch? No issue, like going to as
Sure.
best as it could
Well,
possibly get.
that's the question, right? After that succeeded, then we're back at the first time that I streamed. Okay, I put on a good tournament. Now what? Should I work on making a better studio and do this a lot? Should I work on trying to sell that ability to tournaments to other people? Should I try to work on myself enough where I think that I can one of those impossibly talented? and try to work it down. I mean, these are the steps. This is the ladder that's constantly being climbed. So I have no idea what's after this, but I do know that that one thing is my next goal, and after that goal is over, we can only see where to go from there. As long as growth, new challenges, that's it. So who knows, dude? Who knows? Maybe the next focus will be Midas Mode Land. Maybe the next focus will be all right. I want to make Moonduck Studio actually competitive to Beyond the Summit. Who fucking? Maybe I'll just give it all up and stream Skyrim every day.
Make Panic the Snick.
Pancake.
Pancake the Snick.
But at any rate, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
When's elimination
that's
mode coming back?
woo soon. I think
Aw.
I was having talks with Suns fan that maybe the qualifiers for Captain's Draft should. I thought that it's kind of cruel, real cruel.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no idea, dude. I mean, that's I just have a lot of shit going on, so it's hard to think that far.
Yeah, no
Like,
problem.
no, I mean, I got like just while I've been doing this interview with you, I've been messaging the editor, sponsor. It'll fucking kill me. Anyway,
Uh,
got these Patreon people that are like, "Why are the videos not coming? You piece of shit."
that's the one thing I hate. I don't do because you don't know what people's freaking free time or their situation may be.
Sure, but you absolutely owe it
I mean,
for that
to an
support.
extent, you kind of want to know, but
I mean,
it's
they're literally. So, I mean, I will not accept any pity on that front. There could always be
well,
more stuff.
so be it. But one person can only do so much, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like this has been a pretty depressing talk. I feel like I've only said the negative. Maybe it's because I'm jet lagged, but
Yeah,
a lot of
but
good.
it's better than not getting anything, I guess. That's how I view it as.
This has been slightly better than nothing. Thank you for this great.
Hey,
Okay, so I guess we should take it to the positive though. Moments like that are what shape a person. I always feel like people define their moments by their happiest, and I always feel like it's a stupid way to do it. Happiest moment was when I got married. Oh no.
congratulations, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. The best moments in your life are when you see something impossible and you make it, because those are the moments that get you through the other hard times. And life will always get it, and life will always be challenging. And it's not the happy times that happy times just get sad. Sad times. You're like, why can't I have that? But seeing something impossible and making it through that is the parts of our lives that push us through and help us succeed. So, yeah. Although all this stuff is stressful, and although it made me bald and inside, this is the stuff that life's about. This is what you live for.
You wouldn't trade
It's
it
the
for you could have had. You would have traded. This is what you wanted,
Sure.
and there's nothing else that can match that in comparison.
Exactly. Saying that you wanted something and showing that
Showing,
incredible. I mean, if
yeah,
someone just walks up to you and gives you $10 million and you never have to do anything for the rest of your life, life's miserable. I mean, it's a deal. What's the point? There always has to be something, a drive to keep us alive. You know that most people die like something like 2 years after they retire. It's
that
not.
is a sad statistic.
Well, it's because they're done. I mean, the body is done. The life is done. You
Yeah,
can never stop. Life is a grind, always. It's those moments of perceived negative that are really the biggest positive. So this is Jesus. I keep trying to make it undepressing, and I keep making myself depressed. It's the fucking jet lag, homie.
yeah.
Help me, dude.
Um,
Maybe,
Trying to think. How about this? Your interactions with Moonduck, your everything with that. You know, Purge, Mott, Zyre, and
Oh, all those idiots. Interactions with them are great. I mean, they're a bunch of misfit assholes who all want their own things and come together to try to do something for each other. And it's good. It's good. It's challenging. It's fun. I don't know. Fuck.
I mean,
All right, you want to talk about positive stuff? I'll talk to you about the real. The most positive thing about doing any of this stuff is that I know that. Okay, so video games are an escape, right? They're a way for people to get away from their shitty lives, or at least that's what I used them for the majority of my life, was trying to escape out of my fucking horrible. And knowing that you're adding to that in some way, knowing that people watch content. Oh, when I see people watching the content and leaving replies saying that they watched it and that they, even if they didn't enjoy it, just knowing that you can provide an escape from shit that they have to do. Ah, it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. Somehow, somewhere out there, you could have improved the day of how many people, but even if the act of flaming you online improved their day and it made them laugh, that's incredible. Because it's so rare to be able to make people, actually genuinely happy and improve upon whatever they do. So that's the best part about what I do. Like the reason why I do it. We
okay.
talked about how I grew it a lot, but the reason why, what really motivates, being able to like meet people, stories that they enjoy, stuff that's incredible. I mean, I worked as a I was in nursing school in neuroscience because I wanted to help people when I was in college. And, helping people physically is great, but being able to like actually help people mentally is hard, so hard. The kind of being able to do what you love and make people happy, crazy job, super. So yeah, that is the positive, dude. Being able to go to events and meet fans and see them laughing and smiling, hearing people like, not even if it's not your enjoying themselves in reality for just a little bit, like going to an event, they're just like they're there for the Dota. They're not there about their job and their wife, kids, or anything.
Their life is put to the wayside. This is the event.
Uh,
This is now. This is what they're focusing on, and everyone has that common ideal right at that point.
right, and that's what it is, and it's the greatest in the world to know that you helped them with that. It's amazing.
And I must say all the lorgasm stuff. It is one of the best, some of the best content out right now. And
Get out of there, bro! I got the new episode coming out. We're doing individual heroes now.
okay,
I just did Rubik.
yep, I
It's gonna be a lot
remember
of
watching. I remember looking at that.
woo. We'll see. My editors are not happy. Keep making these things 20 minutes long, and I'm just trying to get one out every week, and they're like, one a week at 20 minutes long. So anyway, all right, man. What else you got for me, homie?
Um, let's see. Your let's see. Fuck. View as the esports scene as a whole.
What?
The view
You
of
on the esports as a whole?
I mean,
The future. Fuck regular sports, homie. Who cares? Fucking watching football, watching
watching your
some
boy Blake.
my boy Blake, watching some 300-pound steroid ass man give himself concussions until he dies. Fuck that shit. Esports is so much better. You can watch EE do something and say, I'm gonna do that tonight at my house, and I'm gonna learn. And you can't watch baseball and be like, well, I'm gonna go slam a fucking baseball across a field.
Going 100 miles
It's
an
amazing.
hour. What the fuck?
God, it's amazing. Esports is the shit. Everything about it, everything about the communities, it's so much better than football and other sports. That shit's all testosterone and violence. Esports is all about learning, perfection. It's fucking great. I love esports.
It's
Shit.
it's so hard now.
I gotta
Like
help
at
the wife
this.
with something. Hold on. Hey, baby, let me get that for you. Whoa. Let me get that heavy thing. Oh, boy. All right, my man. I think we gotta wrap this up pretty soon. You got
Yeah.
any other pressing questions, my friend?
Um, I'm just trying
I'm
to.
getting the rolly eye look. Things are
Oh
getting really
God.
intense over here.
Oh God. I don't want to keep you too long then.
No, no, it's all good.
Um. So I mean, helping. I mean, doing this, reaching back and giving back. At least in my case, I mean, me as like the community doing this, it's awesome. I have to say that. You know,
Oh, no worries.
giving time to do that. Um. But is there ever been a moment where with the I'm just going, out there with the
Sure.
fans or whatever that it's been too much to like okay back off or like a Loda getting punched in the getting punched type.
Yeah, and Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fortunately, not really too much. The biggest problem typically with esports guys is just like a lack of social skills is the biggest thing sometimes. Have some sometimes stuff like that. But besides that, not really too much. I mean, at most you'll meet a guy who has like legit Asperger's or something, and just be like pretty socially not really aware of what's happening. Like try to follow you backstage and hang out with you and stuff. But at the same time, that stuff doesn't bother me because video games is like that's what it's about.
It's
It's
an
about people
escape.
that it's an escape. I mean, this guy's got a hard life, and he's here enjoying something and trying to meet other people that enjoy that. And it's never something that's I've ever seen as a negative. It's just like, look at this guy. He's here. He's trying to make this work out. Good for him. Let's go. I've never
Yeah.
been like threatened by a fan or anything. I've had it pretty easy. I know that a lot of female people in this field have really really bad, and they could tell you a shitload of stories. But no, really, nothing really bad has happened to me. I think it's also kind of part of the personality that I have, though. I mean, maybe people would be affected by stuff. Like, for instance, I was at ESL 1 and I'm walking by a guy. He stands up and you are the fucking cancer that is killing this game. And I'm like, hello. It's just like so weird. He just sat back down, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. It's like, correct. It's like,
Sure, if that helps
I
you
don't
get to
know.
sleep at night.
I mean, I think it's hilarious,
Yeah.
and he was right. I literally am. So
Hey.
it's I don't know the guys that maybe other people are affected more, but I have a pretty good personality for working in this field. I've never been affected by anything. I used to work in like hospitals for the chronically mentally ill, and like a great time. It's I don't know,
I mean,
got a good.
some people gotta, some people aren't able to. I guess the word is, take a joke or be able to take things half lighthearted. Sometimes I don't know.
Sure, but that's also like, always been the mission, right? I always thought that half the Dota crowd takes itself too seriously, like the fucking ragers and shit. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I think like you said, starting to wrap up. Just trying to think. What's your thought on the patch or upcoming possible patch?
On the patch, bro. I thought this was a school project.
Hey,
What's the fucking
hey, I'm
patch?
just I'm just trying to get anything in my mind to get off the table. Anything I can use. It might be a little tidbit from that. You never know. Shit.
Thoughts about. I'm sorry. I don't know, dude. We just talked about this on What the Duck for like an hour and a
Yeah,
half.
I kind of
And,
saw that. Patch in two
guys,
days.
I don't know. Who cares? That's basically it. I like watching the community suffer. Hilarious. I think it's great. I mean, fucking cares. Just because the pro players know the patch in and out doesn't mean you do. You're fucking terrible. We're all terrible.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to say
it's not.
this. All right, sorry. You
Yeah, go ahead.
continue. No, you continue. Sorry about
No,
that.
no, no. I was just saying it's not the sniper troll patch. It doesn't need to be drastic fixed
Yeah, God no.
or so. All right, my friend. Anything
Um,
else you got for
I
me, my
just
friend?
wanted
No.
to say. I just want to ask if it was right because I just recorded it. I'm just doing it for my own personal, just so I can go off of it. If that was all right.
Sure.
I just
Absolutely.
wanted to make sure and clear that before, after the fact, because I didn't want to be guy take
Yep.
it so you
Great.
can take it out of context. I wanted to just get that
Great
by.
journalistic integrity, my friend. Thank you.
But again, thank you for doing this. It means a real hell of a lot.
Hey.
Anyone in the community would appreciate it. Hell,
Oh,
some of my friends that heard that I'm doing this, they're like, "What the fuck, you lucky son of a bitch," type deal. I'm like,
nah, don't worry about it. I would love to read it if you're done, by the way. And I don't
yeah,
know if you.
I was gonna actually, after everything's said and done, I was gonna ask if you wanted to do that. I can send you a draft or
Sure,
whatever after the fact. Given you
sure.
gotta take into account, freaking this is community college level, so be it. But I just
Dude, don't worry about it. Yeah, I would love to. I don't know if you post these online or anything either, but if you would like me to share it or anything in any way, I'd be happy as well. Let me know.
I will. If when, I mean, the freaking assignment's due next Monday, so I will let you know by the end of that in the next week or so coming up. Personal advice, personal life, and everything getting involved. So it might take a little bit, but yeah, I will definitely send you a draft after everything is said and done, and go from there.
Okay, sounds good, my friend.
All right, thank you
Well,
again.
thanks for your time too. It's always good to talk and hang out, and I hope I see you again at something that ain't the Boston Major, bruh.
Yeah, thank you.
Come back to me, brother. All right,
Hopefully
cool.
there's another freaking East Coast event, cause God,
Hell yeah.
college debt can't afford plane trips in TA 8.
Okay, sweet, bro. I'll talk to you later. Thank
All
you.
right, see ya. Thank you.
All right.